What's going on, cobbers? Stage 4th and lockdown Tano here, the internet's loneliest cobber, and it's time for a review of the new Caden MacDonald album, My Footy Dreams Never Come True. Caden MacDonald, AFL YouTuber, Melbourne Demons tragic, AFL goal recreator, AFL evolutionist, has come out with a new footy themed musical composition album. In these unforeseen circumstances, some artists have been very productive with all of their spare time. We've seen Taylor Swift come out with a singer-songwriter album, Cardi B has come out with an anatomy lesson, and now Caden MacDonald has come out with his banger after banger after banger album of footy themed tracks. The album, I believe, is intended to be a comedy album that uses pop rock type elements. I know Dossa is a big fan of the 1975, going off the fact that he did react to the 1975's latest album and the album before that, I believe. And let's see how well he actually executed that. So the album starts off with the intro called This Is War. This acts as a bit of a grand opening to the album. There seems to be some sort of effect on Dossa's voice to just make it a bit slower and lower, which kind of just builds up the hype towards the rest of the album. Later on in the track, it sounds like there's some sort of montage of maybe some old AFL, VFL commentary. I can't quite make it out, but that's kind of the vibe I was getting from it. I was feeling like if there was a music video to this track, or if I was just visualizing it in my head, I was getting visions of montages of black and white, you know, VFL footage and everything like that. So I thought it was very well done from an artistic visual point of view. One little criticism I did have of the track is it just feels a little bit unorthodox when the drums come in. It doesn't really seem to go with the melody that well. But hey, I'm not gonna criticize JakeyRoss's production too much because he absolutely kills it on the rest of the album. And lads, you've seen my production. It's freaking shit house. Yeah, but look, anyway, cobbers, it's a respectable opener. You won't find me tapping my toes to it, but if we skip on to the next track, this is when the album kicks into gear. Track number 2, huge banger, I Don't Want to Play Ones. Huge ballad, very relatable. Who the fuck wants to play ones? There's literally only one type of footballer. That's the type of footballer that doesn't want to play ones. And now you think, oh, Wesda, why are there players playing ones? The players playing ones are just the players that couldn't stay in the twos. They weren't good enough to stay in the twos. They didn't know the tactics. You'd know if you watch the Dylan Buckley and Daniel Gorringe podcast, you'd know there are certain tactics that go into staying in the twos. So when you see a gun footballer, next time just have a think about it. Just think, okay, is this player good because they're playing ones? Or are they bad because they don't know how to stay in the twos properly? It's just something to think about. Why do you want to try hard at training? Why do you want to do the proper recovery when you can just sink beers with the lads on Friday and Saturday nights and just play a little bit of footy in between and then just sink beers on the hill while the seniors are playing? You telling me you want to stay sober and stay healthy and perform at your best? You serious? Next track, Pie and Chips. Very relatable again. Dossa released this track a little bit before the album in a very well-structured rollout of this album, mind you. There's a lot of hype just coming up to this track alone, let alone the album itself. Very good music video, I was very impressed. Hot dogs, burgers, wraps, too damn expensive. I remember I was at Marvel Stadium and I got a free pie because I was sitting in the 4 and 20 area, which is usually my go-to area when I go to Marvel and watch the Saints games. One time they were handing out these cards where you could get a free pie if there was a goal like after the 20-minute mark in the second quarter or something. And yeah, my mate and I went down, got a free pie, and we were living the life. We were just living the Marvel Stadium vibes. One criticism I do have is the lyrical content. In one piece of lyricism, Dossa does say, "I'll have to fare away tonight." Now, I thought Dossa was a good role model, but apparently not, encouraging his subscribers to rort the system. I'm just saying, you would never see me do that on my channel. I've never ever encouraged anyone to do anything inappropriate or illegal. Next track, Back Pocket Plugger, certified banger. This was released as a single quite a while ago. It might have even been last year. In the music video, we've got Cookson in the thumbnail playing the main character. Look, here's something that people need to get through their head. Not everyone can play forward. At the end of the day, there's only 6 forwards. You've got to have 6 backs. Some people have to be holding up the defensive end so you forwards can, do your fancy tricks down the ground, kicking the goals, getting the girls. These back pocket pluggers, they are underappreciated. The next track is Cult Figures That I Miss, another really big hyped up single, and I loved it. Can I just say the music video was fantastic. I was really impressed. This is, definitely the best music video I've personally seen Dossa do. From the scenes out on the beach to when he's watching the old footage on the projector, I thought it was really well done. It was really professional. Cult figures are a huge element of the game. It's funny to think about because, commentators will always say, people come to the footy to watch these big forwards and these good midfielders, but really, I think it's the cult figures that really actually get people attached to the game. I think about when I used to play AFL Premiership 2005 on the PS2, and there's just so many players in there that aren't around anymore, and you just kind of think about them, and you're like, damn, I wish they were still running around today. I did not appreciate them enough when they were playing. And I appreciate the fact that Cados did come out with some kind of left field cult figures. A lot of these players, in my mind, before the song, I didn't really consider cult figures, like guys like Andrew Rains. But yeah, she's just a player from the 2000s that I miss, and that's what the song's about. Let's go into a bit of a lyrical analysis on this song. Sunday Arvo Channel 9, watch the game that is delayed. Mate, there are so many kids watching this that would not understand how this was. Basically, the game at 1 p.m, you'd watch live on Channel 9, I'm fairly sure. That'd finish at about 4, and then the game that had started earlier in the afternoon, you'd get the highlights for the first half. It was like maybe 4 to 4:30 or something like that, and then it'd catch up by half time, and then that last half would be live. It was an amazing experience. And then I just remember the feeling at 6 p.m. when the credits roll on like the wide world of sports, and then the news comes on. Most depressing moment of the week, knowing that then you've got to face another bloody 5 days of primary school before that Friday night game. Mate, kids don't know how easy they have it with all these bloody footy frenzies. I was impressed with the Stephen Milne mention. Coming from a St Kilda fan, I thought a lot of people hated Stephen Milne, and obviously I loved him as a St Kilda player, but I thought a lot of people didn't like him. So I'm very glad that someone that isn't a St Kilda supporter was able to enjoy Stephen Milne as a cult figure. Before the game on Channel 10, Cameron Cloak Tool of the Week again. Based reference before the game. One of my favourite footy shows ever, to be honest. You had bloody Peter Hellier at his peak, Dave Hughes at his peak, Limo, Fitzy, Andy Marr, Sam Lane as well. Goated show. Okay, next track. My Footy Dreams Never Come True. Best song on the album. Don't at me. I mean, look, in the comments, please comment what your favourite song on the album is. My Footy Dreams Never Come True. I added this to my actual daily rotation playlist straight away. The production on this, I love the production on this. Shout out to JakeyRoss. He killed this instrumental. It has some historical inaccuracies in the lyrics, which I know Dossa did acknowledge. The fact that I think he said his team's last flag was in 1965. A bit of a stretch there, mate. It was 1964. Trust me, I'm keeping you in place because St Kilda's last premiership 66. So you're a full 2 years behind us, mate. And he also said that he watched a game where the D's lost by 185, 186. Come on, 186. Don't forget it. No, actually, that's been harsh. No, I think everyone genuinely felt bad for Melbourne. My favourite player was Shane Woeworden until he got traded to the Pies. Mate, I didn't actually know Shane Woeworden was a D's player because I didn't start watching the footy until maybe 2003, 2004. So I just knew him as a Collingwood player. And then it wasn't until years later that I actually found that he won a Brownlow medal. I just thought he was some mediocre Collingwood player. But he was actually a Brownlow medalist for Melbourne. This lyric. I still thought I had the chance to get drafted to the league when I was playing twos in top age under 19s. Mate, this has crippled my entire adolescence. For some reason, I had this stupid fantasy where even up to about... even now, sometimes I have fantasies about playing AFL, and I'm like, I'm 23, I haven't played footy in 4 years, and I still have fantasies about how I'm going to make the AFL. Like, what the frick? The last time I played footy, which was also top age under 19s, I was playing in Division 4 of the VAFA, and I thought, oh yeah, if I just string a good season together, Might make it. What the frick? I once spent all my money on a jumper with the number 5. Cados comes in with the ad-lib here, where he shouts the player's name. I couldn't quite figure out what he said exactly, so I looked up Melbourne players who have worn the number 5, and I'm like, shit, it's Jimmy Tompkins. I remember that bloke. He was like a bloody top 10 draft pick, and unfortunately things didn't work out. Tell you what, credit to anyone who gets a number on the back of a player that isn't like a seasoned superstar. Like if you get a player that's played like less than 20 odd games or something, like that's unique. That's retro, vintage. I have a St Kilda jumper with the number 45, which when I got it, it was Jackson Ferguson. He played 1 game. Then it was Jason Holmes, who played only a handful of games. I don't know who it is now. I think it was Ben Patton for a bit, but he's changed. So just shout out to anyone who has obscure numbers on the back of their jumpers. The next track is Young Gun. Cados showing some versatility on the album now. He was just spitting bars over a banging hip hop beat. Sporting Pulse must have been hacked. It's weird looking up Sporting Pulse because usually it would get updated very late, I feel. Whereas I compare it to my cricket career where My Cricket is usually a great website where you can always look up your stats. You know, your stats will get sometimes updated on that Saturday night or the Sunday, and you can always look up your stats. There's so many different stats to look at and analytics to do with your cricket career. But with footy, all you really got was just, did you play the game? Did you get in the best? And that was it. Like that was all you had. Like how good would it have been if someone was actually taking stats? I'd like to see my stats. Actually, no, I wouldn't because there was so many games I didn't get a touch. Chuck me anywhere, coach, even the ruck. The winger standing on the outside, watching like a cuck. Yes, 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 yes. I burst out laughing when I heard this lyric. I was not expecting a cuck bar in these tracks. That's another request I have if you're still watching the video to this point. Can people please send me more cuck bars in hip-hop? Because there are not enough of them. The only one I'm aware of is one in a Jack Harlow and Audrey song, where Jack Harlow drops some sort of cuck bar. I'd actually like to make a video about cuck bars in hip-hop because there are not enough of them. The next song is Hold Out Hope. Dude, sad song. Made me cry. I thought this was supposed to be a comedy album. You're making me tear up. This is just memories flooding back. Going to the footy with my family, whether it's bloody going to park underneath Etihad or trying to find a car park nearby. My experience is probably a bit different to Doss's because most of my adolescence, fortunately, the Saints are actually a fairly good side. But like just the pain of not getting to that final destination of that premiership. And then there's lyrics on it like, would love grand final day with dad. Hope it doesn't come too late. Bro, that hits deep. It's like, I thought I was coming to laugh on this album. My dad was born in 1962. The Saints won the premiership in 1966, so my dad and his brothers decided to go for St Kilda. That's why I go for St Kilda. And what is it, bloody 54 years later, and the Saints haven't won a premiership since. That's how long it takes. That's how long it takes. That's in an entire lifetime. St Kilda didn't win their first premiership in the VFL for 69 years, which is pretty cool. But like, if you're going to wait that long, it may as well be 69. But 69 years, that's a lifetime. People have to wait entire lifetimes to see their team win a premiership. And it's like, bro. And the last track, a very good outro track, is Grand Final Day. Just a bit of a fun track that I think Dosser was stuffing around a bit on. Some good fun lines in it though. Horrendous time to be a frothy. I do really like that line. It's 5 PM and I'm Lyndon Dunn. I haven't actually heard that before. I am definitely using that next time I'm on the sauce with the boys. Well, whenever that may be. All in all though, a very good finish up to the album. And look, the album in a whole is very good, I think, for an album that was just created in seemingly a few months, just during isolation. I think it's very good to see that some people have been very productive with their time. And yeah, this is some quality content. Hope he gets some attention too. I know that usually when people make footy songs, they do get a bit of attention, such as, you know, Pickett Palace getting some plays. Bloody the Up There Cazalia bloke. I've forgotten the name of the guy who sings that. But who knows? Maybe in a couple of years when we're allowed back at live events, you might see Dossa bumping out grand final day on the big stage at halftime. Chuck a like if you'd like to see Dossa on the big stage. Let me know in the comments, what are your favourite tracks? What did you think of the album? Definitely recommend giving this a listen. There are some absolute bangers on here. Go give it a spin. Shout out to Cados. And yeah, hope everyone has a good day and night. And I'll catch you in the next video.